Today we're going to read a story that has a different kind of transportation in it. This one is a hot air balloon. Hot air balloons are transportation. They do take people from one place to another, but hot air balloons are very, very fun transportations because they come in all different kinds of shapes and colors. So when you're done watching this video, go ahead and go to YouTube and do a search for Hot Air Balloon Fest or Hot Air Balloon Fair, and you will see so many different colored balloons, shaped balloons. They're really beautiful. So when you're done with our story today, go ahead and take a peek. So right now, our story is called The Big Balloon Race. Our story today was written by Eleanor Corr, and the illustrator was Carolyn Kroll. The Big Balloon Race. Let's begin. It was the day of the big balloon race. Ariel got up early and hurried to her mother's room. "Please," she said, "can I go up in the balloon with you?" Carlotta the Great was putting on her blue dress with a fancy gold braid. "You're too young," she said, "and winning a race is hard work." "But I can help," said Ariel, and Carlotta smiled. "You can help by riding in the buggy with your father to the finish line." "Oh, thumps," said Ariel, and sadly she went outside. Balloon Farm was a strange farm. In the yard, half-filled balloons sat like giant mushrooms. People came from all over to buy the balloons made by Mr. Myers. Ariel watched her father fold Carlotta's balloon, the Lucky Star. "I wish I could be an aeronaut like Mama," she said. "When you're older," said Mr. Myers. "Now it's time to go." Carlotta, Ariel, and Mr. Myers climbed into the buggy, and Lucky Star followed in the wagon. There was a great whoop-de-doo at the fairgrounds. Thousands of people were there to see the balloon race. It was the big event in 1882. Oompa, 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 played the band. 2 balloons were already in the air. They were tied to the ground by long ropes. Acrobats swung from one basket to another. Lucky Star and its net were spread out on the ground. Pfft. Lighter than air hydrogen gas hissed inside the balloon. It slowly grew until it was taller than the house on the balloon farm. 12 strong men held Lucky Star down. Nearby, another balloon grew fat and tall. It was the Flying Cloud, a ball of bright colors. Its captain, Bernard the Brave, was the best gentleman aeronaut in America. Carlotta the Great was the best lady aeronaut. It would be a close race. "I bet you'll win," she told her mother. Carlotta gave her a kiss. "You can sit in the basket until it's time to go." Ariel got inside the basket and she talked to Harry the pigeon. Harry went on every flight. Sometimes he took messages from Carlotta to the balloon farm. The mayor began a long speech. He talked on and on. So Ariel climbed inside the odds and ends box. It was quieter there, and cozy and warm, and soon she was fast asleep. Ariel did not hear the mayor's last words. "There is a south wind," he said, "so the finish line will be the other side of the Devil's Punch Bowl Lake." Ariel did not even hear the drums. Trum. The aeronauts stepped into their baskets and the crowd cheered. Mr. Myers waved to Carlotta. "Good luck," he called. She waved her knobby sailor hat. "Hands off," Carlotta ordered. The men let go of the ropes, and with a jolt, the Lucky Star took off. Ariel woke up. "What happened?" she asked. Carlotta stared. "Ariel, what have you done?" she cried. We are aloft. Ariel looked over the side, and sure enough, they were off the ground. Below, someone yelled, "Stop! There's a stowaway in that basket." Mr. Myers waved his arms and shouted something, and Ariel waved back. "Ooh," she cried, "it's like being a bird." She watched the crowd set out for the finish line. Some were in buggies, some were in wagons, others were on fast horses. A crosswind tugged at the balloon. Whoosh! Lucky Star swooped away over a farm. Dogs barked and ran around in circles. Pigs squealed. Chickens squawked. A horse reared and galloped away. Scrunch! Lucky Star's basket scraped the treetops. "Can we go higher?" asked Ariel. "The balloon and the ballast are only for one passenger," said Carlotta. "You're extra weight." She dropped one bag of sand over the side. Up went Lucky Star. The farm got smaller and smaller. It looked like a toy, and then it was gone. "Dear me," said Carlotta, "an updraft is sucking us into that rain cloud." She pulled on the blue valve rope to let out some gas, and Lucky Star did not fall. Ariel stared up into the netting that looked like a spider web. "Why don't you pull the red rope too?" she asked. "That is the ripcord," said her mother. "It lets the gas out all at once." Carlotta tied her hat snugly under her chin. "Sit down," she ordered, "and hang on." Ariel hugged her mother's sturdy legs in their fancy blue gaiters. Lucky Star was in the middle of a misty, wet, bumpy cloud. The basket went back and forth, up and down, and then around and around. "I feel sick," said Ariel. "A good aeronaut keeps calm," said Carlotta. "The balloon will cool and we will go down." And she was right. In a few minutes, Lucky Star was sailing away from the cloud. Carlotta checked everything. "Ropes and toggles are all fine trim," she said. She read the altimeter that hung around her neck. "We're about 2,000 feet up." She studied the map and compass. "We're heading south." "Look," said Ariel, "the lake is straight ahead." Just then they saw the flying cloud. "He's beating us," said Ariel. "He'll win the gold medal." Carlotta shook her head. "I have a few tricks yet," she said. "Perhaps we can find a faster stream of air below us." She valved out some gas. Down, down, down went the Lucky Star. It was sinking too fast and toward a town. Carlotta tossed handfuls of sand over the side, and Lucky Star moved up and skimmed the rooftops. People stopped whatever they were doing and stared at the balloon. Suddenly, wind stung Ariel's cheeks. "Hi-oh!" cried Carlotta. "We've found an airstream." It was Ariel who first saw the spiky church steeple coming towards them. "Look out!" she yelled. She closed her eyes and hung on. Carlotta threw out more sand just in time. Lucky Star soared over the steeple. Now Flying Cloud was behind. "If we don't hit another updraft," said Carlotta, "we might win." Soon they were sweeping over the lake. "There is only a little sand left," Carlotta said. "Let's hope the wind blows us right across." The air was cold. Lucky Star's gases got cooled too. They went down. Carlotta tossed out the last handful of sand, but it was not enough. "Oh, thumps," cried Ariel. "We'll crash into the lake." "Let's keep our wits about us," said Carlotta, "and make the basket lighter." Ariel helped throw out a raincoat, rubber boots, the odds and ends box, and the anchor. Everything went over the side except for Harry in his cage. Lucky Star wobbled and took a giant step. "Lean on the side," said Carlotta, and the basket creaked and tilted toward shore. Lucky Star was almost there when... Splash! The basket plunked into the water, but it didn't sink. The balloon kept it afloat. "We lost the race," cried Ariel, "and it's all my fault. I'm extra weight." Ariel knew what she had to do. She held her nose and she jumped into the lake. The water was only up to her waist. "Good gracious," said her mother. "That was very brave, but it will not help us. Even without you, the basket is too wet and too heavy to go up again." Just then the flying cloud began to come down. "Our last chance," cried Carlotta. She threw the guide rope to Ariel. "Pull! Pull us to shore! Hurry!" Ariel grabbed the rope, and she waded out onto the beach. Lucky Star was easy to pull with a balloon holding it up. "Splendid!" cried Carlotta. She jumped out and dragged the basket to a higher ground. A minute later, Flying Cloud landed. "We won! We won!" shouted Ariel and Carlotta. They were laughing and hugging and crying all at the same time. Bernard the Brave anchored his balloon to a tree, and then he came over and he shook Carlotta's hands. "Congratulations," he said. "I see that Lucky Star has a crew." He wrapped Ariel in a blanket. "Thank you, sir," said Ariel, and Bernard smiled. "Why, it's my pleasure." Carlotta sent Harry home with a victory message to the balloon farm. Soon the crowd arrived. Mr. Myers rode up in a buggy. Carlotta told him how Ariel had helped win the race. "Ariel," he said, "I am proud of you." The mayor gave Ariel the gold medal. Carlotta hugged Ariel. "I'm proud of you too," she said. "Perhaps you are old enough to fly." Ariel smiled happily. She was sure of it. The end. Thanks, guys.